This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and you know it's a day in the arena when CGB is playing Espery, Planeswalkery, Fae of Wishes stuff. But this one, we branch out in our colors a little bit to splash Nicole BOLAS, the Dragon God. And it's kind of amazing how you can fit a bunch of mana sources into the deck thanks to the triomes. Save Triome, Rogren Triome, those are each a source of red mana. Add Interplanar Bacon, and you've got 12 sources of red. So casting Nicole BOLAS isn't so freaking hard. Isn't that nice? And then on top of that, we get to play the Planeswalker core and Esper that we love, which is Narset, Teferi, a little bit of Kaya, who's looking really good with all the Rakdos running around, and Oath of Kaya, which is looking really good with all of our Planeswalkers. The support cards for our Planeswalker squad, Oath of Kaya and Elspeth Conquers Death, are very key to the deck in making everything work. For the sweeper, I decided to move away from Shatter the Sky, my beloved Shatter the Sky, and try Extinction Event, which we can name odd or even, and exile each creature with converted mana cost of the chosen value. The deck needs some early plays, so I have Thought Erasure and I have Fae of Wishes. I am nervous about both, because, quite frankly, casting Thought Erasure is often pretty bad in current arena, especially on the draw. You're often going to die because you played a Thought Erasure. The opponent just gains too much tempo, it doesn't affect the board. But the Fae of Wishes you can just throw down as a 1/4 blocker. It's actually really good, and it has tremendous late game potential. So we've seen this card shine in my other control builds, and I think it will here. The sideboard, you can check the deck list in the description. I'm not going to go over all the pieces, but because we have Interplanar Beacon, we can run some fun of stuff like Sarkhan, the Masterless, Ugins and Finales and Mass Manipulation. If you've followed me, you know this stuff. Thought Distortion is another one I'm excited to get to play with. So, yeah, that's the deck. Let's do BOLAS things. I outsmarted them eons ago. Hopefully we get to spam that particular word a lot, and let's dive in and let the nonsense begin. On the draw we have Erasure and Oath of Kaya, but we have to take 4 to do it. Starting on 16 life is hard, but let's roll. Best 1-drop in the game. Seems good. Beacon might be nice, but this could all be too slow. We could be dead. We could definitely be dead here. Alright, Erasure. 2 oozes and a troll, and a district. A second troll does use up their mana. It hits the hardest. At least they have to use an ooze to grow an ooze. But ooze is really obnoxious. I guess I'll take a troll. Then what we have to do is we have to use Oath of Kaya to kill a Pelt Collector, and then we have to hope to draw Extinction Event. It also keeps our opponent from growing the Pelt Collector, so it saves us a point of damage. Taking the troll does, that is. Extinction Event. Kaya. Kaya can eat the graveyard, but the ooze can eat it in response and get stronger, so it's not a good play. Kaya can exile the Pelt Collector. I guess that makes it a fine play. We can use Oath of Kaya to take out the ooze. And then next turn, Kaya can exile the Pelt Collector, and attacking the Kaya will make them drain for 2. So this is fine. The opponent leaves a creature card in the graveyard to make the second ooze a better ooze, which is frustrating. It's going to be a very large ooze. Let's see, if we go down to 9, can the ooze kill us next turn? No, I only see 7. The opponent keeps on drawing the fire, and they go in for the Lovestruck Beast, but they don't have another 1/1. I guess we could Kaya the 1/1. But it makes Extinction Event a much worse draw. Yeah, I think we have to do this just to keep the beast at bay.
But not forever.
Opponent is a land away from lethal here. This game is just a product of going second, quite honestly. I think it would have been interesting if we had gone first, but as it was, we never got a foothold in the game. Turn 2 Thought Erasure is just a terrible play against aggro when you're on the draw. It's like conceding. So, if the opponent doesn't attack the Kaya, I guess that's our best chance, right? It looks like they are. Because if they didn't attack the Kaya, we could exile the Pelt Collector and draw into Extinction Event. Oh, okay, we're doing this. Okay, we get a shot. Shot failed. So we definitely need to exile here.
I'll be back.
What could we hit? We could hit a Fae of Wishes with the Narset, then we're at 4 and we have 1 blocker. And we can block here and we're not dead. No, we can't hit a Fae of Wishes because it's not a... it's a creature. So we have to play this. Kill the Ooze. Hope the opponent doesn't draw a land or a way to deal 1 more point of damage. Or a 1-drop.
Once again.
Or that they mess up. Mess up is fine.
Defiance has consequence.
Alright, a 1/1, a land, or a way to give a counter to the troll. And our opponent wins. But they don't have it, they have another troll. We could still draw an Extinction Event, although we can't Narset for it. So, what does the opponent do? They're looking at a BOLAS and a Kaya, but if they attack us, it triggers the Oath of Kaya. The opponent's going after BOLAS. Okay. What is their last card? It's not Primal Might, that would have been lethal. Fae of Wishes. We can play the Narset and the Fae and have a blocker. Let's go ahead and get some life here. We're still on the Razor's Edge. Or it might be a Ram Through as their last card.
Make myself scarce.
That would make a little bit of sense. These can gain Hexproof, so we're still looking for Extinction Event. We don't find it. Is Thought Erasure worth it? We're not dead right now, are we? Oh, we are actually, to mobilize District. So if they have a Ram Through, like we can't play around it. But is Elspeth Conquers Death worth it? I think I take it, but it feels bad. It doesn't feel right. Alright, this way we're not dead to a land, which would power up Mobilize District. Oh, their last card's Nissa. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
The land fights for us.
Makes sense, too. So, are they going to try to tangle with my Planeswalkers or not? Those Oath of Kaya drains are a big deal, and the fact that we have a Fae of Wishes means they have to send at least 2 creatures at a Planeswalker to get rid of it. Which is super awkward for them. Right now the Kaya doesn't gain life, but it can exile the land, right? Because it can exile a permanent? Let me see. Exile non-land permanent. It can't deal with the land. The opponent is going to give me 2 drains here, and we can save Kaya with a Fae of Wishes block, but we can't save Narset. At least the way that the attacks are set right now. So we'll be up to 13. We can ECD this. The opponent has a 9-point attack if they have a land with Mobilized District. Oof. This is still going to be very hard. Taking a turn to ECD the Nissa is a huge setback, actually. Ooh, man. Can I get to another turn? There's no creatures in the graveyard for the Kaya, so it can't gain any life. I feel like we have to get rid of Nissa, because if I Extinction Event even, we're just dead. So let's play this, get it ticking.
Forgive me.
Play this tapped, tick this up, submit 0.
I hope you've said your goodbyes
And
already.
hope we see another turn. Right now, the opponent can't lethal me, even if they have a land for the Mobilized District. But if I'm too low on life, Extinction Event wipes out my own Fae of Wishes. Weird. That's a choice. I don't know. You know what would be a great draw to Fairy? To do this at instant speed? That would be a great draw. The opponent's still going after my Planeswalker. That's awesome. That is awesome. Alright. Block. Kaya down. Opponent still has a pretty sweet board compared to mine. BOLAS. We have a BOLAS coming back next turn. But we're not... We could keep trying to nurse this Extinction Event because we have this Fae of Wishes, right? Oh, man. If we killed the Lovestruck Beast... Well, we can kill the Lovestruck Beast next turn by getting BOLAS back. I think we play this. And since the opponent can't lethal me very well, we just plus it.
Whole of the multiverse
Rather than
will bend
try to kill
my
something.
will.
It's gutsy. It's very gutsy. We didn't leave open black mana, but we couldn't, right? Yeah, we couldn't. The opponent gets rid of a troll?
You have no weakness
What's going on?
I cannot exploit.
They're hanging on to the land. What is this card? Man, has Oath of Kaya done work? We would be so dead without it. Another Lovestruck Beast. Makes a 1/1. Okay. They had to pay 3 for that because of Elspeth Conquer's death. Tense moment. Choosing these attacks. Everybody at BOLAS. So I could put the Fae of Wishes in the graveyard, and then the Extinction Event's a little bit better. I can't save BOLAS though. But if I don't want to exile the Fae, I should block.
Return.
Will the opponent play the other Lovestruck Beast? Yes, they will. BOLAS. Loyalty.
Spark.
Plus.
Mine.
What you got? I'm curious what you'll get rid of. Okay.
My intellect is without limit.
Beacon. Narset. We make the Extinction Event the last play.
Mind and body should move home your prowess.
Rip. And let's name even. Make the opponent come up with another 1/1 to attack with these beasts. It's a big draw. If they can do it, they are in this game. But they needed a 1/1 and they didn't hit. So now it's up to Mobilized District. Do you attack down the Narset? Do you attack down the BOLAS? They choose the Narset. Take 2.
This was overwhelming.
Oath of Kaya. Plus the BOLAS. Torture the opponent. Lovestruck Beast gone.
Witness
Cycle
a
this.
vote of my power.
Another Narset. Feels good. 2 more life.
Focus and discipline. I have just
Another
the trick
BOLAS.
for this.
And we'll save this because eventually we might draw Teferi and we can hit their draw step with the Thought Erasure. Yeah, Teferi needs to be nearby. We've been through half our deck without finding one. Nissa comes off the top.
Use the ties that bind us all. Behold, nature's true power.
Whoa. Okay. I guess another Narset goes down. Opponent's down to 8 from all these Oath of Kaya hits. I'm going to destroy them with Oath of Kaya itself. So we can minus the BOLAS to kill the Nissa. We can play second BOLAS plus it. And then we can Oath of Kaya the Forest. We can also make our own 3/3 creature, but the Lovestruck Beast has that under control.
The land will not
Perish.
Wait, life.
Gods once.
See what the opponent's willing to get rid of here. Hellspell conquers death. Forest down.
I outsmarted you eons ago.
Eons ago. Alright, now what you got? A 1/1 and they can kill the BOLAS. All it takes is a 1/1. Call Harpooner. Probably not the card they were looking for. Let's let them make the choice first. They want to make no more choices. What a comeback! We were right there, just dead to so many cards, but they didn't have them. Whew. Let's party. Opponent opens with a Temple. This hand is a little slow, and it doesn't have a beacon, and it doesn't have an Oath. So, it might not be good, but the opponent doesn't have a 1-drop, so I'm less scared. They are in the tank on this scry, though. Brain Melty down. Keep on top. Bacon! Okay, if they're aggro, our hand got better. Plus we got fixing for BOLAS. Paradise Druid, here we go. Still no 2-drop, so just tap land go. And the battle begins. You know what we're afraid of, right? It's Questing Beast. The opponent doesn't play a Questing Beast, they play a second Paradise Druid. And they could have played a Questing Beast. That's really good news. Let's get one of those dead. And having the Oath on the field, as always, makes attacking our Planeswalkers better for us. Wow. Okay. Somebody wasn't told that Fires of Invention was no more. Okay. They have, what, 2 lands in the graveyard? That's really good against Planeswalkers. Let's send this back.
I'll protect you.
And get a tap land down. And I guess BOLAS has to kill that thing, but as soon as it does, like, we lose our Planeswalkers because of the ability here. We need an Elspeth Conquers Death.
We will meet again.
Opponent comes at us with the Paradise Druid and a tap land, so they're not replaying Cavalier. That makes Narset a good play if we can protect it. I guess we can't. What do we do? Kaya can also work on the graveyard. But the opponent's setting up to give this haste. So maybe what I'm supposed to do is bounce a Paradise Druid to take away the ability to gain haste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They would still have it. A Narset, though, means they can't draw the cards, but they could just attack down the Narset. It at least makes things awkward. It's our only play for the turn, though. I prefer to have played BOLAS.
If you wish to surrender now, meditate.
There's
and
ECD.
prepare.
There's also a Thought Erasure. Crap, we could have just taken the Cavalier, but what if they have 2? ECD is probably the stronger card in the long run anyway. Maybe they'll forget the Narset passive. Hold on to your butts. Starix? What? What? Terror of the Peaks? What? What's going on? Okay, we need an extinction event. If the opponent exposes this, of course we get rid of it, but then they still have Cavalier Flame with the free Terror of the Peaks they just pulled. And they're going face! Alright, we need extinction event. We got it. What a gamer. Do we want to keep this on 3 so the Paradise Druid can't tag it? Because we're naming it odd. I think we do. We could take another shot for a Thought Erasure, though. If the opponent attacks this down, they still get to draw cards, but I guess they don't get this with haste. Let's go for it.
Keep an open
Did it.
mind.
Deck loves me. Deck loves me. Gemrazor, another Starix. I guess it's got to be the Starix, right? Starix could do nasty things. View battlefield. Starix makes them tap out, though. If they hit the untapped land, they can Starix onto the Paradise Druid, but then they can't attack with it. I guess that's not particularly exciting. I'll let them have the Cavalier since it walks right into an ECD. Let's take the Starix. Their deck is cool. Do we keep another BOLAS? Let's just throw one in the graveyard so that we have it. We can get it back with Elspeth Conquers Death eventually. Let's try to keep hitting land drops and find cheaper spells. They know about ECD. They have a Gemrazor. They might play the Cavalier just to try to get rid of it. Ooh, they hit a Marauding Raptor. What are they going to do? And with a Drain, our set goes down.
I won't forget our time together.
Having another Narset on the field keeps this awkward. A Teferi can bounce the Paradise Druid so they can't replay it with the Raptor on the field. That's mean. But I think it's right. Let's start here. I'm not sure what I would hit with Narset that I'd rather play.
Let's slow this down. I've got time.
I think getting the tap land out of my hand and having more mana available next turn is more important than the second life point.
I have practiced against many things, but thoughtfulness.
Another
before
Elspeth
action.
Conquers Death found. Alright. We're starting to get to the... We played multiple Planeswalkers last turn. We're starting to get to the position where we can play like a Planeswalker and an ECD every turn. That's when the deck is a real steamroller. Hard to handle. The opponent goes for the Gemrazor. That will kill the Oath of Kaya. But they put this over the top, which means it does eat an Elspeth Conquers Death.
I shall miss your company.
Will they play a Paradise Druid into their own Marauding Raptor? No, they are a true legend. Bravo.
That's more like it.
ECD or Gemrazor? As much as I want to gain life with Kaya, we have a lot of life. Let's start exiling the land so this Cavalier Flame is not as good when we have to kill it. In case we don't have, in case they like work their way through our Elspeth Conquers Deaths. Flame. The opponent gets to wheel their hand a bit, but they don't get haste. Embercleave. Something to keep an eye on. Again. Now we can eat some of the creatures.
I hope you said you're good for you. Shuffling me off my mortal coil.
Let's cycle this. And another beacon. And next turn we have a BOLAS or a Narset coming back. We have a loaded Teferi, so there's no reason to get that back. Another Cavalier Flame from the opponent. I like them checking to see if there's a Narset hiding over there. There is not. Alright, we drew the Narset, let's grab the BOLAS.
The immortal Nicole Bolas will be your
The opponent has
end.
10 cards in exile, and they're at 16. We can, so if we Kaya them this turn, and then Kaya comes back with an extra loyalty next turn, it's still not enough. Alright, then let's continue to hit the land and one creature.
I'll be back. You beat me this time. Bravo.
I think we throw the Teferi activation here. We could also just exile this, but I think them replaying it is fine. I'd rather push with
I am not making this up as I go.
the BOLAS. The higher the BOLAS gets, the better. Wait, could I have just doubled? Oh, I missed lethal. I could have used BOLAS as Kaya and as Kaya's ultimate and then used the Kaya. That would have been tight next turn. I forgot I could use the -5 with the BOLAS. Missed lethal,
schemes
confirmed.
are
You don't have to
never-ending.
tell me, but you're going to anyway because you're all bad people. Bad people who help the algorithm, that is. Yep, continuing my rise in the Magic rankings by making bad plays. On the play. Good 3 drops. Love it. Absolutely love it. Of course, if we're not against a creature deck, then our hand starts looking significantly worse. But if we are against a creature deck, going Oath into Extinction into Teferi is pretty solid. Passage. I don't like that. Okay, Jund food. Okay, well, let's start the party with Teferi taking their food away. They don't have a
I know
cat or an oven,
responsibility.
at least not at this point.
I've done the hero thing.
This is a tough matchup. But we can hope they're on a pretty awkward draw. Lantern? Okay. You did it. Are they going to draw with it? They are. Yeah, their draw is very awkward, I think. Oh, and they missed the land drop, and that is the game! Yes! eSports. Alright, keepsies. Unfortunately can't Thought Erasure, but still worth a try because it hangs with aggro decks. We go Fae, Kaya, maybe we go Granted. But our opponent doesn't appear to be aggro. Still, get a Fae down. Just have that blocker on the field. It makes getting to the Planeswalkers so much more awkward. Can't tell you how many times I've lost a Planeswalker to a Nissa. Ooh, that's a good one, right? I'm sure they're just growth spiraling. You're not missing anything.
I know 88 ways to defeat. Hone your prowess.
ECD. Alright. Hold that back. Who knows? Haste something. In Arena Ladder, I don't assume I know every card my opponent could play. It looks like they're playing 4-color Reclamation.
I can no longer stand by and watch. Don't worry. I got this.
Yeah, attacking a Teferi is okay. We still don't have a black source. Let's see what we can hit with Narset.
I have just the trick.
Another
for this.
Elspeth Conquers Death. Another Narset. If the opponent deals with one, we'll get another. I guess I have an ECD. I should probably Fae of Wishes for a veto. Or a Thought Distortion. I could grab an Elder Spell, but I don't have the black mana to play it. I do have the mana to play a Sarkhan next turn and attack my opponent's Teferi with my Narset. I could also grab a Light of Hope to tag a Wilderness Reclamation. But I have an Elspeth Conqueror's Death to tag a Wilderness Reclamation. If they have a counter, though, I'm really kind of screwed on that one. Yeah, nothing I have here lines up great. I'm just going to grab the Light of Hope and have a cheap answer, I think. They could have Nissa, in which case this play looks bad, but we're still going to give it a shot. Uro doesn't draw because of Narset, so the Narset doing work, and the opponent doesn't ramp, so I think that was just a mistake.
Nothing.
A raw mistake. Alright. ECD or Teferi.
Now what?
And sit back. We can activate Fae to discard some Planeswalkers so we get something for free off the ECD if it comes to that. Back up Teferi, sure.
Sorry I'm late. Let's try this.
Second ECD. Yeah, and we're going to want to discard this Narset and this Kaya to Fae of Wishes. So we're going to put a stop on our upkeep, or on our at the end of our draw step, actually, is when we want to do it. All right, so we draw. Let's put the trigger on the stack. Activate. Submit those two. Bounce the Fae. I guess you have to have something in the graveyard when that goes on the stack. Oops. Weird. Alright, made a mistake. Guess we'll have to roll with it. Feels bad, man. Scavenging Ooze. And we're going to get punished hard for it. We are getting punished. The opponent has enough green mana to take out both of our Planeswalkers from the graveyard. So I blew it. That is weird. I thought I was able to put the ability on the stack, and I'm very not. So my bad, everybody. But maybe it's okay. We get a Teferi, which is a pretty darn good card against this deck. And we found a black source. Screw up win anyway. Let's try it. Nissa who shaketh world. We have another ECD for that.
Power surges through these lands. The land shall conquer you.
Are you going to attack when I have a Fae? Okay, they're not. Mark this for a thought erasure. Pay 2 life for here. ECD your Nissa.
My strength fades.
No attacks. Draw a card. Get in that hand. They still have a ton of cards. Okay, they are not Wilderness Reclamation. They are banned. Aether Gust is good against BOLAS, but nothing else. 2 Ugins they don't have the mana for. They have a Shatter the Sky they don't want to cast, and they have a Teferi. We could also take the Ooze, because it's a big problem. But, yeah, I think it's the Teferi. And there's a BOLAS, so we just have to watch out for Aether Gust. Actually, as long as our Teferi's on the field, it's not that scary. So Light of Hope was a bad grab. I thought they were a Wilderness Reclamation deck based on the Triomes. Those were a good bluff. What do we actually need to do? We need Thought Distortion. We need it ASAP. I think we can do that next turn. I think we can go get it. Two more to cast on your spells. Plus here.
I got time.
And then we play this and we can block both of these. But the opponent, can they grow their ooze? They can only grow it once. So this is a stop. Yeah, we do want this more than the thought erasure, right? Yeah, for sure. Is a little frustrating having our graveyard munched on every freaking turn. Not gonna lie, but that's what Ooze does. Ooze exists for this. Well, I want to discard these 2 cards and get a free Bolus only if the opponent taps all their green mana or their Ooze dies. So there is a chance to get a free Bolus here off this if the opponent doesn't have a green mana open. They go in for a Shatter the Sky, which is all of their mana. Sure. Fear the phase. But I get one back. Goodbye your hand and graveyard. Right now they have no playables. We could thought erase them in their draw step instead. But Bolus on empty board seems so good. Here's what we do. We thought distort them in their draw step. Oh, that's mean. That is mean. So I don't think there's any reason not to attack here. Oh yeah, Summoning Sickness. And we hit an ECD by doing it that way. Oh, that is ice cold. That is ice cold. Play horribly, win anyway. Love this game. 3 cards in graveyard. Teferi on deck can bounce the... Actually, we can draw step the thought erasure. That's the play. Bolus here to assert dominance. And the opponent has seen enough. We drained them of their will to exist. This is an awkward hand because we need to draw blue to play the Narset or the Fae, and it's on the draw, so I'm scared, but I think I keep and just hope to hit that blue mana. Oh, not a Pelt Collector, no! And they have a Stone Coil, you can tell by the stick. Lock that in for later. At least this plays Narset, but we could really use a blue source for a Fae, some kind of board position. Because we're gonna get wrecked. We're gonna get wrecked. That Mobilized District, though, maybe they don't have another land. They might have kept a 2-lander. That's a lot of bacon. Let's start playing them so we gain double life next turn. No, they have the 3rd land, no problem. Yeah, this is doom, is what this is. We have no chance, I think. I said that against Mono Green last time. Why can't I be on the play against Mono Green? What is wrong with this world? We found a blue source, but it's tapped. Gain a little bit of life. Bounce the Pelt Collector because we can't bounce this. Protection from multicolored. This is going to require an ECD, and since we're dead in 2 attacks, I don't think the opponent's going to care much. Okay, what do we need? We need Extinction Event, right? That would do it. That would do it.
Suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
That won't do it. Okay. Okay then. Green. Okay. What the heck is going on with my hands? Alright. What do you keep? Do you keep a Bolus or an ECD? There's no white man in this hand yet. I mean, I have to assume I'm going to get it at some point. I'm on the draw, so I'm going to need to be reactive. This can gain a life and tag a creature. This can tag any permanent. Think you go away. Imagine splashing BOLAS and then bottoming BOLAS. What a world we live in. Gross. Alright, that's pretty good against those kinds of cards. A lot of 1-drops. Kaya eats those. We're still gonna need land. Savior. Okay. Land found. Tap land, unfortunately. I would have loved to play Fae of Wishes here and slow the opponent down. I still could, but there's a risk I do nothing with my next turn. And I don't think that's a risk I'm willing to take. It's way better to play cards like Oath of Kaya, even although there's a dog, so maybe we don't get the Oath of Kaya. I still get the life, though, if they sacrifice the puppers. But right now, Extinction Event naming Odd is looking juicy if we can live long enough. So that needs to be the priority. Live long enough. Post-combat? Why you being weird, bro? The heck's the matter with you? Okay. Let's get rid of the speaker so the angels don't start coming. We need to be able to name odd. If we name even, like the angels casting cost is even, so go away.
Good for you. Shuffling me off my mortal coil.
We still have a savior to figure out. It's a good card. Not great here, though. I think they have preferred something else. Right now, I don't see many of the life game payoffs. Okay. Get odd. The opponent can sacrifice the savior to have it in the graveyard and gain a life from for the Daxos, but they choose not to. And now things are starting to look better. Our opponent's drawn a few too many land. They do have these castles that are probably going to be frustrating. But let's go after the Daxos. So, do we play a Fae and pay 2 life to do it, to start having a blocker against the castle, or do we wait and possibly fetch something helpful? Like a time wipe. Can we play a time wipe? White, white, blue? Yeah, we can. I think we fetch. I'm a little worried of running out of action because we don't have any planeswalkers going. And the only one we've drawn is Kaya, which isn't very impressive. And I think we can endure a few 1/1s. Light of Hope. No more Oath of Kaya. I think the opponent's going to wish they had saved that. The opponent seems to be playing my build. I urge them to play a little more patiently with it. The deck is definitely a little more versatile than they're giving it a chance to be. So how about an Ugin? Do we just want a planeswalker here? A powerful planeswalker? Maybe. I think it's, yeah, I think we grab the Ineffable. If the opponent's going to make 1/1s, I will make 2/2s. That draw cards. Kind of. Eventually draw cards. Alright, Lyndon joins the squabble. And there's a scoop. The opponent does not want to mess with the Ineffable. What is with the 2-land hands? I'll keep it. All we have to do is draw a black source to have Erasure, Oath of Kaya, Narset. But man, these hands are just scary. You can't tell me that the hand smoothing algorithm looked at 3 hands and came up with this. I can't buy it. And off the top, that is not a land, but it is one of my favorites. Alright, don't make me sweat. Give me the land. Okay, you're gonna make me sweat. Opponent's got the Mentor too, so they're going to get a turn of popping off here. I hate life. I hate life right now. Good deal. Good deal, Magic. Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, another 2-lander. How? Whatever. I'm over it. I'm done. Now it's just an experiment. Like, this isn't a competitive video. This isn't a how to play anymore. It's just an experiment of how badly the shuffler can screw you. That's all it is. Alright, land and we're good. Might as well. This is too slow. This is not good in the matchup. But we might need it to draw a card if we draw the third land and it's not a black source. This isn't great in the matchup. Okay. One claim down. How many do you think they have? And we are back for the post-games wrap, and we were having fun. It was a good day, but Arena just had enough, said you will never draw land again. And I should have learned this by now. Like, my serious decks, usually I remember this. Either I run cards like Birth of Meletis that help me kind of cheat on land, or I run more land. So I should have more land in the deck. I should know this by now, without question. So 2 more land, 28 land, because if you actually want to hit turn 4 and turn 5, that's what it takes or the shuffler will destroy you. As far as what to cut, I hated Thought Erasure. It comes in handy in the late game, but my god was it bad for a good amount of time. Also, with the amount of mono green in the format, it feels like I might just want to sweep harder. Like, maybe we just don't play any early drops. We just plan to play tap land, or Fae of Wishes, and we just run like Shatter, you know? And just sweep them really hard. Something along these lines. Maybe. I don't know. I'd give this a try if you're losing to creature decks too often with your deck. And it just does seem like it falls too far behind too fast. Also, if you wanted other ways to interact with Nissa and stuff like that, you could put 2 Aether Gusts right here. They can always target your own BOLAS to reset it to the top of the deck as another play. And the meta is usually aggressive enough that you can get away with main deck Aether Gust right now. But I don't know about that. That is your call to make. But yeah, maybe I just need to sweep harder and focus on my 3 drops being awesome, my 4s and my 5s, and just forget about 1 and 2 since it's so hard to make a play early. Just, it's worth a try. So I think I'd do something like this if I were to do it again. So, with that said, we're going to move right along. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you're having fun, if you enjoy my daily content. We're over 530 consecutive days with MTG Arena videos, which I really hope you're enjoying. And leave me a comment. It helps the algorithm. I don't have time to reply to them. I do try to read them. It's a challenge. And yeah, let me know what you think of the shuffler. Has it ever just, like, on a 26 land deck, just stopped giving you a third land for multiple games in a row? Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.